Call the meeting to order, please join us on the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Action on the minutes. Motion to accept. Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? To vote. Adjustments to the agenda?
I have nothing, sir.
Public comment?
You already answered me.
Anybody else? Moving on. Business items 5.1, review approve fundraiser toll road request for Santa Visits Oxford on December 6th, 2025 from 9 a.m. to noon, Steepfield Road, 121. So.
Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? This is how many years now?
This is the second year we'll be done it.
Also in a second.
The group is almost 40 years old.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Vote. 5.2, review and discuss disposition of tax foreclosed properties.
Okay, so there's a couple of properties listed in front of you, and basically 2 of them have gone to foreclosure, and as we've done in the past with the new state law and so forth, we gave them their 90 days to try and be able to claim it back and so forth. The 90 days has expired. Now we're looking to, in accordance with state law, list these properties. So I'm asking the board for permission to be able to move forward with listing them with a real estate agent.
Motion to list the properties.
So
Scott? Sorry.
is there a preference on the agent, or do you want us to stick to the same or try somebody new? Any thoughts on that?
Try somebody new.
I would certainly wouldn't be opposed to trying somebody. Discuss. We have a motion in a second, so discussion.
My concern is, and I'm actually was going to bring it up anyway. We have some property for sale to the tune of 1.2 million on Route 26, and there's not even a sign out there to advertise that's for sale. Now, I don't know what real estate agents get and how they get compensated exactly, but I think if that's sold for 1.2 million, it'd be a fair compensation for the work they're doing to sell it. You put a couple of signs on it, would be.
Wouldn't
Seems to me that we're not asking too much of an agent to do that. When it seems though that hasn't been done, I would say I don't think we're getting a great service from our current agent. So, I mean, have we asked them to, I don't even know. I would think they would put a sign on it. We need to request them to put a sign on that?
So could you explain to us, we don't pay an agent, we don't have an agent on retainer like a lawyer. I don't pay an agent, they get paid when they sell properties.
Correct, just like,
They get a commission.
right,
They don't get paid other than.
they get a percentage.
So I'd support the town manager reaching out to, I don't want to really reach to Portland, but there's plenty of real estate agents in this area, the Oxford Hills area, to reach out and see who might be interested and see what they might be willing to do for a commission. Much like accepting bids. You may get some that take a smaller commission than others. You may get some that work harder than others. So I'd certainly be interested in shopping it around if anybody else is.
Again, it's a sensitive subject to me, I think, because Barefoot's located in town, and I think, we had this discussion when we decided to list the property, and we went with them hoping to get a level of service. And I'm kind of speaking a little bit more towards that commercial property, the 40 acres on Route 26, than I am. These would be probably residential, it looks like. These residential properties, I think, are fine with a local realtor for sure. So maybe this is the wrong time to discuss the Route 26 property, but I just feel like, we're not, in my, I could just, it's coming from one person, I don't feel like the level of service is great with the realtor we're currently using. So yeah, I'd be up for And I don't even know, Dana, if there's some deal with realtors where you have to charge a certain commission, or if they can reduce, I don't even know if that's even shoppable, right? Like, but certainly up for, looking for a little bit better service.
I think it sounds like an opportunity for me to get some quotes from different brokers to see what maybe their rates are and so forth.
So just to clarify, on your property, the town owns property on that, commercial piece, it's a little different because your, total sales, whatever, minus your, realtor takes for their commission is gonna go to the town. These, all, whatever the excesses, returns back to the original owner of record. So, the interest rate, I mean, their commission doesn't really impact this. But from my previous experience as a realtor, yes, they can choose to reduce, commission rate. It's up to them.
I just explained that again real quick, they get commission on this sale, correct?
They get their commission, so what's collected out of whatever the sale, like on this one right here, the top one, whatever is collected, the town gets, all the back taxes, all of our fees, and the realtor is gonna get, their commission. The remainder, in excess is returned back to the original owner.
Gotcha, yeah.
Per
Thank
state
you,
law.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so I'll still shop around a little bit, why not, get some general feedback. And
But
then,
you wanna just let's shop around, you wanna make a motion that if the best deal you could get is go with.
Yeah, you wanna make a motion, yeah, I mean, that's.
I mean, I'm just saying, he's already talking to him, he's got him on the phone,
Well, sure.
he is the best one.
I'm fine with that, so we can get things moving.
Yeah,
I agree.
Make a motion,
We already have a
We have a
motion.
motion. Did you want to amend what you have
well, I wanna,
forward, or just clarify that?
I would clarify that, the town manager would have the right to find, a realtor that would take this and the best deal, go ahead, do business with them.
yeah, I'm a second.
Scott had already said it, so yeah, we just clarify. All
You're
those.
good?
and then one last item on this, the last one, 19 Morris Ave, though it was after the 90 days, they did come and they have paid all of their back taxes. If the board is comfortable with it, I think it would be nice to be able to, quick claim that back to them.
I'd make a motion to do that.
Okay, second. Discussion, all in favor? Vote.
Thank you.
5.3 sewer department fee discussion.
Alright, so the board member bring this up for conversation, specifically as in regards to the standby fee. I'll just give a brief overview and then you guys can tell me to be quiet or go into more detail if you want. So the long and short of it is that standby fee, the way that is supposed to be set according to the ordinance is just based on half of the base rate that we're charging. The base rate to charge right now is $152.50 per quarter. And so that would make the standby fee $76.25 per quarter. And to clarify what the standby fee is basically if the sewer pipe goes by your property and then you are required with a new build to hook into the sewer, or if your system fails, you're required to hook into the sewer. The standby fee is just there to help with the revenue stream for the town with the sewer. We can't go in there and force somebody to, tear up their system and do those things. It's just if their system fails or if they have a new build. According to the ordinance, it says that we can enforce a standby fee for folks even if it's a vacant lot. So it's a vacant lot or if there's a building there. So that's just kind of a quick synopsis on that. And if you look at in your packets, we did copy page 44 of the ordinance that talks about that. So also I was asked about the sewer operating budget. So included in the sewer operating budget is the north end sewer. Now that is a completely separate, entity because that's actually up here where we are, this end of town. That's all part of Norway, that sewer district. We pay them separately than, for this end of town. So if you take out the north end sewer, Our sewer department, the budget is $398,000 this year. The debt service for the sewer is $822,950 this year is the payment. So that's a total out the door for the sewer department, debt and operating of $1.2 million. The year-to-date revenue thus far is $93,000. And so if you were to look at that, the conversation is what can we do to, bridge the gap? Well, last year we, if you don't count the debt service, we're $190,000 short. If you do count the debt service, we're $1 million short. So I mean, that's been an ongoing problem, and the TIF is thankfully paying for the debt service portion. I also put together a spreadsheet. This is just a loose one in here to touch on, about how many laterals we have. Laterals are not lots. Laterals are simply places to hook into the pipe. Depending on where the lateral is located, you might have 3 or 4 different users hook into one lateral. But remembering a couple years ago, we did that connection grant program and so forth. So some of these numbers are a little bit loose because I just threw this together. But we have 194 laterals still available out of a total of 285. Now keep in mind that some of these, again, it's based on equivalent users. And when you look at the end of the ordinance, it explains like a household is one equivalent user. But say a laundromat is so many equivalent users based on the capacity that they have. So with the current rates and so forth, if you were to, based on just the amount of laterals we have available, and you multiplied that by the standby fee, it's $60,000. So that could create,
Is that a quarter?
nope, that's it'll be a year, 60 for the year. So I just tried to do a quick breakdown. So yes, you would definitely bridge the gap a little bit. We'd still be 130 in the hole.
Not including debt service.
Not including debt service. Including debt service would be 952,000 in the hole. So that's so that just kind of gives you a quick synopsis. I don't, Phil, was that kind of what you were looking for?
Yeah, and Adam, that 93,000, I'm sorry, yeah, 93,000 would be projected by, what'd you call those, by laterals available, correct?
Yeah, so it's the laterals that are available. Again, the laterals are where we hook into the pipe. So, and more than one user could go on there. Like for instance, the gas station is more than one equivalent user, and they're using one lateral, but they're multiple equivalents. So.
I guess my thought is, it potentially could be a fair amount more if we impose the standby fee for property that has access to if the sewer line runs by your property, not by lateral hookup, it would be probably a fair, is it safe to say there'd be a fair amount more revenue?
I would definitely agree. There's going to be more than what I've calculated here. This is very super conservative.
I mean, it's a guesstimate because you're buying a gallon, correct?
Well,
Not for the standby fee.
the standby fee.
Well, not standby fee, but saying that you had other people hooked to those laterals.
Right.
It would add up to what they put into the gallons, right?
Right, it's a
Usage.
combination of usage as well as the base fee.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you get one household with 7 children and they're really using a lot of water, dishwashers and all that stuff, then their bill's gonna be higher than say
That was my point.
a single person.
I think what I wanted to clarify was the laterals available isn't necessarily subscribers available. In other words,
It could be more.
there will be more. There's definitely more subscribers available than laterals available. Because that, when I look at that number, I'm like, you're 194, less than 200. We can only put 200 more subscribers on this plant. We just went down there and it's at like what, 10% capacity. Like we probably could handle 600 more, 1,000 subscribers in there. And so we don't know, and it would take some time to come up with this, but potentially, for people in standby, there could be hundreds. It could be, 400, 500, 600 potential.
Well, it's limited because it's only limited to certain parts of the town, right?
Sure, but how many lots, how many different property owners and lots out there? And so the reason why I bring this up is because it's actually a policy, right? This is voted on and ordinance. Yeah, it's an ordinance, it's voted on and approved. We got a significant gap in what we're getting for revenue from that place. It's probably one of our biggest money pits that we have as far as, putting a burden on our cash flow or on funds available. So I think it's time to address that. And obviously, get more subscribers would be the ideal way to do it. But we're not getting them as quick as we need to.
Well,
I have a question.
go ahead.
What year was that ordinance passed?
At the same time we put it in.
It's right on the front here. It's the ordinance was adopted in 2014, last amended in 22.
What was the amendment in 22?
I don't remember what we did.
We changed the distance.
Setbacks?
Because it was 150 and it went to 300.
Is that what it
And
was?
there was something, I thought.
I think you're right.
There was one other thing I thought we changed.
It was a minimal change.
Was there any discussion at that point about, doing this?
Oh, we have discussed this user fee for many years and just never.
Non-user fee.
It's
Yeah,
been discussed
sorry.
quite a few times. And, the way this was originally sold to the people, of citizens of Oxford, was that, that was gonna be in there, the standby fee, but we wouldn't necessarily go for it from the get-go to get the thing going to see what was, how it was gonna work out. And to be honest with you, there's no question we sold the bill of goods to a certain extent on how big we build it and this and that, and it's nothing they can take back now. And, I think and on the other hand, we definitely had to have something around it. You can't have the well in the front yard and the sewer in the back. And I think it's one of those things that's gonna, with time, will grow, but I think if you try to drive everybody onto it or put the bill, it was originally, the way the TIF was set up for that end of town was to take care of this, cost of the sewer system. I would like to see it in a little different position it's in. I don't know, I'm not 100% sure just how to do it. I'm not saying that if you throw that extra money on everybody right now, it's gonna do a lot to help us. I still, would like to think we could promote it some more and get more on it. Are you gonna have everybody on it? It's gonna take a while, a lot longer than projected in the original thing, because I was on the board at the time. My 10 cents worth. I sell that wrong?
It started,
I was on that right from the start again.
Question, TIF money can only go to the debt service, it can't go to the operational budget of the sewer system.
That is my understanding. TIF money can go to debt service or infrastructure improvements, but not operations.
Non-existent.
Right, like we couldn't hire a sewer department employee with TIF money.
So, I've kind of been thinking about this a little bit, right, so it's come up a few times now. I'm not for the standby fee being enacted all of a sudden, right now. I'm not saying in the future maybe, but
Well, that's why we put it in there. It was for the future, if we couldn't get it going, but the system that it was originally sold to, I think, the taxpayers of the town of Oxford was that, this was what we could have and boom, 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 but it was a lot bigger system.
Sure.
And then we probably needed.
Sure. So what I would be more interested in having a discussion about, I don't care tonight, or if you wanna wait till another time, I think it would be worthy of a discussion to, look at how are we going to promote Route 26 and move forward, starting like the things you said about the land, right? We haven't had any bites, there's no sign, there's nothing out there right now. It's a prime opportunity for some sort of developer to put some sort of big housing development in if they wanted to. And just think of what one housing development would do for that plant.
Sure.
And do for revenue, right? So I would much rather see a way of the town pursuing something like that. I don't know if that means we have to have a discussion about kind of, I think we had touched on last meeting, kind of our goals moving forward. Economic development, we want to look at a town plan. Is that a position we want to look at? We may have to add something to get that number down. And if it means adding like a town planner or economic development advisor or something to help get things promoted, to get things here, that will drive the cost down on the flip side. So I don't know, you had mentioned we need growth, right? So how are we gonna do it?
Oh, I don't, you know, I don't mean to kick it down.
No, right.
But on the other hand, yeah, I mean, whether our, you know, our finance program, I don't know, how many did we do on that, Adam, do you know?
I think it was about 25, if memory serves me right.
You know, I don't know if, you know, entice them in that direction somehow. Or, you know, there's no question that we got an issue there. It's gotta be
Who's gonna-
dealt with at some point in time.
Who benefits from the wastewater line going by their property? Like, who benefits from having a wastewater treatment facility in town?
Anybody that hooks up to it?
Anybody that runs by, your property value increases when that ran by your property. We can debate that, but that's fact.
I would think it would be.
When it runs
I'm
by,
not arguing that with you.
when it runs by your property, it increases your property value. So those people have already, that's their return on their investment, right? Is paying their taxes, and for their standby fee would be their property values have increased. Now, I have friends that I'm saying we're gonna charge them this $300. I don't wanna do that. We have a problem. We have a huge deficit with this facility. And, you know, I believe I was elected to help, you know, reduce or slow down the rate at which our taxes are increasing. And so this is something that's been voted on. It's sitting right there. The will of the people is that there could be a standby. So here we are. Your idea is great, but unfortunately, all I heard you say is we're gonna spend more money.
Correct, but you also just said you were elected to bring tax rates down, so you wanna take 100 or 200 people in the town of Oxford and put another $300 on it.
Listen, Dave.
I understand what you're saying, I get the case,
I'm not
but
putting a burden on
those
them.
100 or 200 people are not gonna be happy with an extra $300
Sure
bill.
not, they're not, but their property values went up. They benefit from it.
I get it.
So I don't like it.
I think it's a non-spendable benefit
Um,
until they sell it. And
Sure.
if that is the case, then, you know, we probably grab a little more out of them for taxes too, do you think?
I'm not, and that's why I'm not suggesting that. What I'm
well,
saying is,
already, you're-
well, your value went up, right? When your property value went up, your tax rate went up. I would be willing to suspend this when you sell a piece of property, then you pay some sort of connection fee or something. What do you want to do? You can't sit here and hemorrhage money out. Like, you said you don't want to kick it down the road. Boy, this thing's been kicked, right? Like, and I'm okay with you not doing it, but I just want to bring it up and say it. Hey, this is.
It's a discussion needs to be had. What I'm just saying, and I'm just arbitrarily throwing numbers out there, I have no clue, okay?
60, 80.
We put $100,000 out to a town planner or 75, I don't know what the number, I don't know what the salary number is, right? $75,000, 20 grand for benefits, we're at $95,000 for this position. If their job is to promote our direction, our goal
I don't know how
forward,
that would work.
and they bring in a $3 million condo development down there on that piece of land, I am happily spending 100 grand for that guy bringing that down. You can't debate it.
No.
You know, not only is it tax revenue, there's people hooking up to the wastewater plant, and that's gonna be a much bigger hit than going after the local people. That's my opinion. But it needs to be done.
Just roll the
Right,
dice.
we can't talk, if we're gonna
This
do
is
it, we
real.
need to
You
do
can
it.
really do this. This money's real. It's sitting right there. You can get it. We can roll the dice and try and hire somebody and I don't think you get them for 80 grand.
I don't know, right?
Oh, what we're paying our rec director.
Let's,
So I mean,
let's do this, since unless somebody wants to make a motion to do the standby fee immediately, I think we probably could schedule a workshop. not in the next month, but
January.
get you some time to get some more information. I really do think we need to know how many pieces of property we're talking about here. And that's, I don't know how the easiest way would be to do that. It's easy to tell who's hooked up, but to know how many pieces of property there are that aren't hooked up, that could be, that are subject to a standby fee. But I think a workshop probably January, February, before we get into budget season, and we can hash it out on what direction we want to go and how the budget's gonna look because of it, whether we do something or not. And I will say, I'm not a supporter of a standby fee. I charging somebody something for that they're not using, I have a lot of heartburn with that, but
I do too.
it is in the ordinance. We may have to relook at the ordinance and maybe look
That's what I was
to
gonna say.
amend that if we're not gonna do it, but
Right.
all good for a workshop, I think. Everybody's interested.
Well, I wasn't definitely I thought we were just gonna discuss it, and I didn't think we were gonna, you're looking to make a motion on it tonight, or?
No, but I think it's something I would appreciate if we didn't kick this down the road and 2 years from now, we're going, man, let's talk about.
Well, I don't think January's 2 years, I think it'll be like next year, maybe.
It is one year. So it's next year. This, yeah, I'm fine with that.
So,
Okay,
When did you mentioned last meeting about starting an update on the comprehensive plan? Did you have a kind of a time frame for that? Or just something that it's something that we need to do, but.
No, that's something I think that we need to start sooner than later. I did want to, I've looked at, so Dan and I met with the person from AvCog and talked to them. They did send us some samples. I believe it was the one from, there was a sample from, was it Rangeley that was more of a, one that they'd worked on. It was more of an actual, this is the chapter, or this is the goal, these are the steps we need to take to get there by this point in time. So I've been looking at the different samples that I've seen and trying to see. To be frank, I think comp plans have their place, but I don't just want a book of nothing. And a lot of the ones I've seen are a book of nothing. So it'd be nice if our comp plan, if we're gonna spend this money, we're gonna go through those steps, if it was actually something that, 5 years from now, the manager and the board can look at and say, oh, these are real goals and objectives. So, yeah.
Well, and I would agree. Our comp plan in the past, some of those goals have been in there, but like all other things in town is that we typically don't follow it.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like our capital improvement plan, we kind of really don't follow it, but we have the department heads to do it. But, and I think it's something that the town really needs to look at. So we know we've got a highway garage coming up that we've got to replace or do something. So, and like you said, I think that comp plan needs to be part of how do we get there to the point where we do that? How are we funding that, or how write down, do we have the property, where does it need to be? And I think going back to Ernie's point of town planner or economic development, we've had some pretty big developments that were supposed to come to town that have gone by for the life of me, and not to the fault of the town, but the casino area really, I think, kind of missed the boat. And again, it wasn't under our control, and I think the family up there probably wishes they'd gone a different direction. But I really think that I expected to be developed a little bit more than it is right now. But there's nobody pushing out there pushing. First, we have, we've gone before the town multiple times going okay, and we've been told that we want development on 26, 121, and, the outskirts of town alone. And I think that we should, and going back again to, it does a couple things for us. It allows us to increase that tax revenue and again, get more users onto the system and help us pay these things down. So I would encourage the we look at the comp plan and like you said, it be a little bit more detailed on how we achieve those goals that we set.
Meat and potatoes. Yeah, so that was one of the things in my manager comments that I was gonna make, was just mention quick about the comp chart, so. I think that I would like to move forward with exploring it to see if it's a feasible thing that's worth doing. Face value, I think it's worth doing. To the extent that we go, I've got another manager I'm reaching out to that recently did that kind of took a different spin on it, that I'd like to get his input as well. I spoke to the manager in Rangeley, and they, his perspective on it was that, he feels like it's a really good tool. It helps both keep his board and himself on track so that nobody strays from the path too far. They have regular, annual meetings where they meet to make sure that they're planning the budget process and sticking to the comp plan. And, but it's not like we're going to, we're not gonna build another, 295 or something over here. It's real goals that, Just a quick side tangent, you said about this there's 91 laterals being used right now. That's currently 321 equivalent users.
Right.
Because like the hotel has a whole bunch of equivalent users, just for reference sake. I also can forward you, we would have been back from November of 24, if you guys are interested, the piece of the packet where I briefed the board on the results of that grant that we did for the hookups and stuff. If you're interested in that, I can send that to you.
Sure. Yeah, and Floyd brought that up, and I think it's another incentive that we should definitely explore that, is giving a grant, reducing the connection fee for sure. I mean, obviously, the idea is more subscribers. I don't love to stand by people.
It's basically no interest finance on that.
No,
I think that's what it was, wasn't
It
it?
started as no interest loans.
Oh, well, that's finance loan, whatever you
I
want
think
to call
we
it.
did some grants.
Yeah,
Some of the money that was, there's X amount of dollars that was set aside to do that. That money's gone now, right?
Gone.
Where did it come from?
Well, there is still some funds left, and that was what we discussed then. There was still $60,000 remaining of those funds.
Where did that money come from?
So there was $250,000 it was $250,000 that was set aside way back when this whole thing came to fruition to allow the town to do loans to get people to hook up, or for incentivizing people hooking up. So originally, the town had done it as 0% interest loans, that had minimal success. It was, and then I believe it was Selectman Sharon Jackson that had brought up, revitalizing that, and then we discussed doing it as a grant program where people could, apply, and they went through the application process and so forth, so.
So,
some money that was left in a kitty, yes, but
To answer your question, I think that 250,000 came from excess funds for engineering or had to do with the sewer system designs and stuff.
is it possible to use some money that we're generating from real estate sales to continue to add to that fund to entice subscribers? Can we do that?
Well, what real estate sales are we talking?
Off of Roller Ring Road,
Oh,
those lots, or
Park
when if this property on 26 sells, or, real estate, and I guess income that we're not planning on, right? Like, could we use a portion, would you guys be opposed to using a portion of that to invest into subscribers to get? Because every subscriber you get a return on it, right? Like, they're now subscribed and paying to help reduce the cost of the wastewater treatment, so.
I would be more inclined to use that money to pay for somebody as a job to develop 26. Because if we can bring somebody in for, I don't know the number, right? I don't know, 100 grand, whatever. And they do bring a big development in, a housing development, that's gonna be big for the plant, right? And obviously the tax revenue is with it. I understand 100 grand is a lot of money. There's no way of making short of it, but the return of that position could be huge. in my opinion.
So we're gonna set a workshop.
Yep.
That's it. Figure it out.
Sure.
Can I ask a question? I'll make a statement. The $250,000 is taxpayer money. And it was supposed to go back to the taxpayers when the big happening happened and everything was paid. And that was a lot of meetings on that. And I didn't want to vote for it, so. But it was just taxpayer money.
Anybody in the town's taxpayers.
I get that, but I mean, this was not a grant, it was not something's out of revenues left over or anything. They didn't have the money to do it, so they voted. And it was a board that really put it through, was that the 250,000 was just point blank going to be a gift, but it was supposed to be a return to the revenue. But it came right out of it was taxpayer money.
We're gonna move on. 5.4. Business item. Abatement Stevens permitted application account 13671412 in the amount of $579.77.
So moved. Second.
Moved to second. Any discussion? All those in favor? It's a vote. 5.5, abatement, Daniel and Roberta O'Neill, account 320, in the amount of $274.54. So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All those in favor? It's a vote. 5.6, abatement. Meritum Energy Holdings account 258 in the amount of $719.37.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Let's vote. 5.7, abatement, Joseph Carey Colby, account 3168, in the amount of $323.75.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion. All those in favor? Let's vote. 5.8, Eugene Bryant abatement, account 2927, in the amount of $24.61.
Second.
Motion and a second, discussion. All those in favor? Let's vote. 5.9, abatement Connor Kist, account 3164, in the amount of $104.90.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor? Let's vote. 5.10, review and approve new application for medical cannabis cultivation, Emmett Grow LLC.
Just as a reminder, this is the one we held a public hearing on 10/2 of this year, and there wasn't really any public feedback. The only pending item was they had a couple inspection issues that they needed to address that the Knox box, and they've gotten that taken care of since. So police, fire.
Whereabouts was this one located?
Oxford Homes?
This is the one on
Is that the one in Oxford Homes? Yeah, in the back, in the third section.
I think it was one of the ones that was added in there.
Yeah, 7 Oxford Home Lane.
Yeah, it was out, it's in the back building.
Oh, yeah.
Building number
You was here once.
Motion to accept.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Let's vote. Department head report.
If felt like we got pretty thorough
Good
down
enough.
there, so. You did a great job, that was a good tour, I think.
Those are stuff you open.
You did.
Town manager update.
We already kind of hit on the comp plan, so I'll skip over that. Town office schedule, just wanted to remind folks, the holidays next week. Town office is closed on Thursday, November 27th, Thanksgiving, and closed on Friday, November 28th, which is the day after. Also looking ahead to the future just a little bit, next year that is. January 1st is New Year's, and that is a holiday, and that would be a scheduled selectmen's meeting. Don't know if the board would like to consider canceling, rescheduling, how you'd like to handle that, or you want me to bring it up again in the next meeting.
I mean, I have no problem.
I just thought I heard what you said.
Nobody appreciates your comments, respect.
I would say we wait till our second meeting in December and determine if there's a workload that we need to act on.
Okay.
And if there is, we meet on the 8th, not the 1st. And if there's not a workload that we need to act on, we can wait till the regular meeting on the 15th.
Works for me. We'll bring it back to you folks on the,
You can have the holiday off, Phil. Plus it snows and then you're working that one again.
all right, that's just what I had for you tonight, I kept it brief.
Selectmen items. I had one about potholes on number 6 road. I did notice one today. I don't know if they're still out patching, if it's too cold for patching now, or I'm not intentionally looking at Shane because he's not on the road crew. If we could have Jim or somebody from the crew check number 6 road.
I can do that.
I know there's one there that probably should. There's so much they could do with some of them.
And I know they've been busy, but that tree limb is still hanging there on Robinson Hill, Cruise Drive.
I noticed it after you said
If it wasn't on the corner, I'd stop and see if I could pull it down, but I looked at it coming before.
I'm emailing as you speak.
What about the bid packages going out for the road work?
So the engineer, we're talking about the $3 million bond, right? Yeah. So the engineer is continuing to work on that. And the first step we're gonna be doing is putting together an RFP to do all of the culverts at once, as one big, package. I'm waiting to hear back from him on when he thinks that, because he's getting all that mostly together. And then he has submitted to the Army Corps of Engineers, and they've also acknowledged that they're reviewing now for the box culvert on Oxford, the east off, thank you.
Just about from the court.
Yep, so things are moving along there, so hoping that shortly we can have some RFPs to put out, because he agrees too, and as you and I discussed, I mean, now's kind of the time to be getting some of this work out to bid, so.
Heard anything at all on the mill project?
Other than what I forwarded to you guys about that open house thing or whatever, no,
Okay, just curious.
which would be a lot of equivalent users, by the way.
So, you brought up land on 26, that's for sale. There's no sign or anything. Can we ask for a sign to be put out like sooner than later? Because it's been 2 months now. And if there's been no feedback, no feedback at all, as far as any interest or anything, are we priced too high? Do we want to look at reducing the price? There's no visibility out there right now. Nobody knows it's for sale, right? Other than if you happen to be on the internet. I'm not overly excited with just the pictures that are on there. So can we kind of push this to get advertised a little bit better, or we can find somebody else?
We talked about going with a commercial broker to start this deal.
Yep.
And I feel like we gave Barefoot a fair shake here. We asked Monica to personally do it. And her workload's probably such she can, and I think she's a great gal. But we definitely need somebody to market this, right? Or we're gonna have to pay somebody to market.
Right, and this is the whole point of the whole entire conversation we've had tonight. This is a crucial piece that could bring in significant revenue in multi-facets for this town. And we have it up for sale, and again, you drive by there, not one person knows it's for sale. So I think we need to put our foot down.
Do you wanna make a motion to reduce the price? Can we do that here, or do we have to do that in executive?
Can we get the sign up first?
Just a quick comment.
Yeah.
If you are feeling like the property isn't adequately advertised, and I would agree with you because no one has called me for information about this parcel. And I handle a number of calls every week about parcels that are for sale in the town. No one's called about this. I just found out it was for sale from you. So since no one has called, in order for us to have a qualified sale, which is real estate kind of term, we need to make sure it's properly advertised, and I don't feel like that's being done based on what I see through my office, so.
Did we sign a contract with
Yep.
Monica? We did.
Yes, he's got exclusive right to list for, I believe it's 6 months.
Well,
So can we not talk about lowering the price just yet, please?
So
That's fine. I just,
instruct him
something needs to be
to
done.
put up some type of sign. And you see them, that there's actually some up by Smedberg's, there's a couple signs for lots that are, up, or if that's something we would have to support paying to have a sign put up, if that's what we have to do. They can't do it. I don't know what's in the contract as far as signage or. What's the timeline on that, 6 months?
I'd have to look, I'm sorry. I don't know.
If you could have it for the next meeting, it's not, I know it's not there yet, but the clock is ticking, is the opinion I'm getting.
I'm anxious.
Feeling
The
I'm
market,
getting,
the market's,
Yeah.
if it ain't, if you don't live under a rock, the market's not what it was.
Any other select measures?
Can we include it with the packet, can we get a list of projects that have been approved? That's been cleared through the town for development? I know it's in the subdivision list that we.
Oh, I understand what you're, I'm sorry.
So, like, only because I, sure like everybody else, we get asked all the time, what's going on there, and I understand that things remain private until things are finalized, but when it is finalized, could we get a list of what development is?
Well, if you remember correctly, the previous code officer was doing that, was providing, it was either once a month or every other month a list. And so I'll talk to the new code officer about kind of revisiting that, and then it can just become part of your info. Yeah, no, I'm sorry that stopped, yeah.
So just to clarify what you're, from my notes, are you looking at list approved to the planning board or?
Yes, approved projects for the town.
Okay,
I think before we were
Might
doing it,
even help
building permits too.
the planning board minutes would be sent to the select board in our packets just to review, or sent to us when they're done via emails.
I just, in certain situations, it would give us a little bit more information to make an educated decision on, so.
I mean, years ago, we used to get any of the real estate transactions to replace the town on. When I first got on board.
A little bigger since then.
So
Maybe.
if you didn't hear that, the planning board minutes are on the town website.
Oh, I heard.
I did too.
Make sure you did.
Oh, I did. Anything else? Sign some warrants. Scott.
There are several credible rumors going around,
That's what I.
but right now they're credible, you know, they're just rumors.
Oh, yeah.
Incredible.
Not incredible, I haven't heard nothing incredible. A lot of people don't like to show their hand on this stuff.
I was gonna try and separate them so they put this in.
what's on the back?
They'll figure it out.
I don't know. I think it's not sure
But you have to see.
the property.
Yeah.
I don't know what was wrong with the, that's part of the wrong with that. I mean, yeah, so, you don't know.
Right.
Now, this guy, 41.
So now,
That parcel is straight up crap like that, and all that, there's something going on.
it wasn't with it, it was your boss.
That's literally what I told us. They want to. I know, they wouldn't, so it's a way it's out. Well, this doesn't have to be. Oh, yeah.
Here's the abatements.
She probably hears about.
Yeah.